Here I am interviewing Paul Arnold on a Tuesday night, just ahead of training. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me, Paul. What I'm really interested in is how you see the difference in the last two games from the earlier ones in the season for Fylde and what you put it down to.
The difference is we've won the last two games, so that's a bonus. I think it's been coming for the last few weeks. I think the lads are kind of bought into how we want them to play now. It's not too different from what we've done in previous seasons, but we've had some new personnel come in. I think finally we've got a bit of an understanding, and also we had a few personnel back, which helps after having a few injuries early does.
How do you rate the two teams that we've beaten in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, there was tough they're both good teams, both up there to be favourites for the league. I think we played well against both of them. I think Esherv probably at the weekend maybe our toughest yet. They seem to be on a bit of a roll. But yeah, I think on our day we can beat anyone, and I think we've been getting to that day. It's been building nicely. Training's been good. The atmosphere is really good around the squad, and both squads, the Hawks as well, has been really good. So I think we've been getting there. So it was just finally good to get a result. I think on paper you might have been saying, would we get 10 points out the last two games? Maybe a few people were shocked. I think Rolling Mall predictions didn't have us down for many, so I'm quite happy to keep under the radar for a bit.
The performance of the pack is particularly important because obviously for the well-known Fylde backs to do their stuff, they need ball and they need reasonably quick ball and so on. What's been the improvement in the pack that you've seen?
Yeah, we've always had a good pack and maybe not given as much credit as due for the last couple of seasons because of our back score, a lot of our tries, but I think a lot of our back tries come from the good work the forwards do. I think maybe over the last 3 or 4 years, especially when myself was forwards coach, we neglected the scrum a lot, so maybe practice some offloading instead. But then this year with Alex Loney, now I'm trying to stop him from doing 2 hours worth of scrummaging on a Tuesday and a Thursday. So we've been putting more time and effort into our scrummaging practices and our maul defence and stuff like that. And Loney's really good. As Spraggy's doing a great job. I think as a 3, we're working really well as coaches. We're challenging each other every day, basically with new ideas what we're going to come up with.
Now the prospect of Esherv, pretty all-round side, not really hugely forward-dominated. Attractive games, we've scored, I think, between us, average game points about 55 in the last 6 games, so there's quite something to look up to. But we've got a big weekend here, of course. We've got this Oktoberfest celebrations here, as well as the semi-final of the World Cup. So we're hoping for a big crowd. How do you see the kind of entertainment value that is in prospect on Saturday?
I don't think there's anywhere else to be, is there? I think you've sold it there enough. I think, yeah, both teams play attractive rugby. It's going to be a great spectacle. The barmaids will all be dressed up as well, I've heard, and lots of nice beer on offer, and the rugby, so what more do you want?
The slogan is that the beer and the girls are ready, are you? So,
well, maybe after Tuesday and Thursday we'll be ready for Esherv on Saturday. Good,
okay. In your day job as an RFU community coach, and you do a lot of work in and around the Oldham areas in Greater Manchester. Obviously, looking at the Rugby World Cup, England's performance has obviously been profoundly disappointing to everybody involved in the rugby in this country. However, it's really important that we get some sort of legacy, if that's not an overused word, from this competition. You're working with young people all the time. Do you see any prospect of increasing participation, increasing excitement, increasing involvement in this game?
Yeah, there has been already. I think at most rugby clubs on a Sunday morning, I think it being on Chesterfield TV has done the interest. I know England are out and everyone's disappointed, but a lot of people are seeing it, a lot of people are watching it. I know the buzz is good. We've been running a lot of World Cup festivals. We're getting 20, 30 schools turning up, bringing lots of kids down. And yeah, the buzz has been pretty good. I think obviously up north, especially around the Greater Manchester, we only had the 1 game against Uruguay, but building on next year, we've got the Junior World Cup in Manchester. So the buzz should be good to keep that going for next year as well.
Yeah, let's remember that the Junior World Cup, so-called, is the Under-20s World Cup. Yeah. Really big affair. It's a great honour, I think, and a great opportunity for the North West to show. Perhaps finally, you could reflect on Rugby in the Northwest has struggled. Apart from Sale, we're the most senior team here in terms of league position. But I do notice that both Sedgley, Macclesfield and Coldy are all the top 3 in the league below us. Do you hope that there's a resurgence in Northwest League Rugby?
Yeah, I think if you look at the pool of talent, and I know I've been involved with the Lancashire setup over the last few years and the junior stuff and helping with that, and there's a lot of talent coming through. It's keeping them in the area, getting into the right clubs and getting the coach. And know all 3 coaches at them club are very good coaches, and they'll be all pushing for promotion, which would be great to get a couple more in this league.
Thanks ever so much, Paul.
Cheers.
All the best.